Crumble.
When I think about my money and how much I've spent, how quickly I spent it, and where it all went, sometimes I regret it, sometimes I don't care. If my wife knew the value of my collection, I'd need to be in your prayers. Some men like to gamble, some men like to race, some men like to party, to drink and fall on their face. But I've been collecting knives since the time before my space. Some are fixed blades and I have many that fold. Some go down in value, but some appreciate like gold. There's a feeling inside, a hole in my soul. If there isn't a new knife on its way to my home, order a full custom, get on a waitlist.
Oh boy, it's that time again. Let's get into another brand new Jack Wolf knife.
I woke up today, feeling no thing. Got my coffee in my hand again. Open my email, and what a surprise. My bank account is all empty from buying these knives. This morning my day starts with a sizzle payment news.
Hey guys, welcome back into the channel. My name is Jim, and I'm here to share with you the newest of the new Jack Wolf knives release for February of 2025. And this is going to be dropping live on Valentine's Day, Friday, February 14th at 2 p.m. Eastern at all of their authorized dealers. Now, what you're looking at here is not one of their slip joint models, but of course, it looks like a slip joint since they have established themselves as the slip joint brand. But what Ben has ventured into is making some really nice bolster lock locking folders that give the impression of these classic looks in slip joint history. Here you're getting into a Barlow design, which I think looks fantastic. This is that sleeve board kind of style to the shape of the frame. Inside, of course, will be ceramic bearings and a ceramic detent, giving it a smooth and very, very fast action. One of the nice additional features that you get on these is you have the option to carry this as a standard folder in your pocket, clipped inside of your pocket, or you can carry it like a slip joint. You could take the clip off, throw it in a slip sheath, drop it in your pocket, and you replace that pocket clip with this. And that is your filler tab. So if you decide that you don't want to have a pocket clip on your knife and you don't want to have that unsightly little notch that would be open there, then you drop that into place once you've taken the clip off and you're in good shape. Now, one of the things that I really enjoy about this particular knife, this particular variation, we'll start with the design itself, the overall design that everybody's going to get into here in the Primo Jack. You have an extremely aggressive clip point on here, which I love. It looks very mean, looks very tough. It has a very slicey look to it because, as we all know, these hollow ground S90V steel blades that Jack Wolf does are very, very slicey. I don't know, just it kind of looks extra dangerous, extra piratey or something. I don't know. This particular variation follows in line with a few of the offerings we've been seeing lately. Ben is consistently moving toward dressier variations of his knives, which I am all for. You've heard me beg for about a year for Ben to make a full-on dress knife. He hasn't gone full tilt yet, but his smooth bone options and this rosewood with the mirror polished areas, those are certainly movements in the right direction. Now, what you've got here is a hand-rubbed satin S90V steel blade, which, as with all the Jack Wolf knives, is hollow ground, so it is stupidly sharp. Your Barlow style long bolster is done, of course, in the dark blasted finish, which is a nice contrast between the high satin and the beautifully done contoured rosewood scales. If you're wondering why there is a gap there, that's the way it's supposed to be, because look, it's a bolster lock. The scales don't move, only the lock does. So when the knife gets opened, the scale moves over. That's how it's supposed to work. And then that helps protect the lock from being overextended as well. Now you have a mirror polished titanium pocket clip, and probably my favorite part of the whole knife is the mirror polished backspacer, because this is something that, if it does exist within the realms of Jack Wolf knives somewhere, I have not seen it before. This is the first time I'm seeing them go a full polish, but there may have been a variant of a different model that I didn't choose that had that as part of that variance option. But man, that is nice looking. It really helps to dress this knife up a lot. I think if I had one little niggle, is I wish they would have mirror polished the spine of the blade as well, because A, it would have completed the look while open, and it would have given you that dressy look from this side while closed. I can understand why they didn't do it, because that can very quickly soften the jimping, but there's something about completing that look I would have loved to have seen. I think the lockers that Ben's been doing lately just keep getting better and better and better. They seem to be getting a little bit bigger. This one not really so much bigger, but it has a bigger presence to it, and I kind of dig that. I like this knife a lot. Don't forget, your opportunity to buy, once again, is on Valentine's Day, Friday, February 14th, 2025 at 2 p.m. Eastern. And while there's a lot to talk about on this knife, I think I've pretty much covered everything that's going to be important to you guys. Don't forget, as always, when you get into the premium line, you're getting the full packaging, which I showed at the beginning of this video. If you get the steel, the steel line, there are some corners that are cut and you don't get the full packaging, but you're generally saving about $100. So it's up to you which way you'd rather go. Me, I'd rather have all the perks, and I'd rather have the premium materials. That's just me. I'm a little bit of a knife snob, and that's okay. I can admit that. Anyway, one of the interesting changes on this one as well is the new style of the front flipper tab. It just seems, I'd have to pull out, I guess, another one, but it seems like this is a little bit taller. You know what? I am going to pull out another one, because now that question is burning in the back of my mind. Well, yes and no. I guess it depends on the model. I look at my Cyborg here, and yeah, it is a completely different tang that's on the rear of the blade. But yeah, you know what? It is also different. It's skinnier, and it's straighter, and it's taller. This is a little bit more rounded, a little bit more abbreviated. I can still get to it. Come on. By the way, if you're wondering how quickly these break in, after the first day of sitting around and just fondling your new knife and playing with it, it will end up operating like this. Very smooth, very fast. Here's my Cyborg. Cyborg is still my favorite model overall, and it converted well into a locking knife too. So by the end of the day today, this one will loosen up just like this and have that sweet, smooth, perfect action. And I can't wait. All right, guys, that's it for me on this one. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. It's a great pleasure, and I hope to see you on the next video.